Dear friends, when evangelist Luke was writing his gospel, it was clear as a bell that the kingdom of God was not coming anytime soon. Albert Schweitzer, in his epochal study called Quest for the Historical Jesus, more than a century ago, has persuasively shown that Jesus was an eschatological preacher and a prophet. It was a foundational, essential part of his teaching. Jesus expected the imminent coming of the kingdom of God. Jesus predicted it during his or his followers' lifetime. And after his death on the cross, his followers proclaimed his resurrection as a token of things to come. After Easter, disciples were expecting Jesus' parousia, his second coming, his imminent return in power, and the complete and radical reworking of the world according to God's will. It was to take its place any time now. Apostle Paul expected it during his lifetime. But then, when Luke was writing his gospel, 2 and possibly 3 generations after Easter, it was quite obvious that these expectations did not materialize. The kingdom of God did not come. Jesus did not return in power. In theology, it is called the problem of postponed, delayed eschatology, postponed parousia, second coming, indefinitely on hold. Evangelist Luke was realist, and so he started to reinterpret and reformulate all those imminent expectations. History did not end. It clearly continued. And so Luke brought in again this historical perspective. He started to formulate his own salvation history, which stretched from before Jesus was born, through his ministry, his death and resurrection. But Luke did not stop there. He did not write only his gospel. He continued writing the history of the early church, the Acts of Apostles. Before Luke, Jesus' death and resurrection was to be the end of history, or at least the beginning of the end of history. Luke makes it into a history's center of gravity, into the pivotal point of the world time. And history clearly continues. Luke was not dogmatic about it. He, for instance, preserved many eschatological apocalyptic sayings and stories, but he also started to reformulate and reinterpret them. He started to prepare his readers and the church for a rat race of history. That is one way of looking at it. Or you can say Luke began the process of liberating Christian theology from eschatological spasms, from permanent catastrophism, from expectation of the imminent end of the world. And that is something not everyone knows about Luke and his gospel and his theology. Join us this Sunday when we will see how Luke translated and reinterpreted the feverish eschatological message of John the Baptist, expecting imminent end of the world, how Luke reinterpreted it into the new, still radical, but sustainable message.